Happy Thursday. It is tax day, but really not. Did I just freak some of you out? Hopefully you're still expecting that today is your tax day, so you don't wait until the last minute, which is now in May. And hopefully those are already done for you, and you're stress-free in that regard. Ours are done, which is a miracle. Just letting you know a little bit about your pastor. It's a miracle that ours are done and turned in. On this day, when the sun is amazingly gorgeous after it's been blustery and winter has held on today, and as we know, tonight and the next few nights it's going to be cold again and we shouldn't leave our tender plants outside. We know that spring is emerging, and behind me this bush that many call yellow bells, it's given up its yellow bells and now it's just back to being a forsythia bush. And well, that is how life works. We continue to emerge. We continue these cycles of brown, dead stems to gorgeous buds to flowers to green leaves. And we just continue. Life just continues. And this will be a little bit of what we celebrate this Sunday, as our worship will focus on, we'll have an Earth Day focus. And we will look at the offering that creation offers to us and seek to be intentional about being in relation with that and celebrating specifically this thing known as our planet Earth in all of its majesty and mysteriousness and gifts to us. Specifically, and speaking of gifts, I want to make you aware that some of you don't know, I am actually standing in what we call our memorial garden. This very space, we 2 years ago received a grant, $1,000, to continue to do another part of it. And so on the other side of this camera, we have a split rail fence, which is just beginning to, not just beginning, it's continuing, creating this space for your own meditation, your own inspiration, your own healing. In the last year, we've received mysteriously 2 rocking chairs that are now underneath the pavilion, and 4 picnic tables that are underneath the pavilion. And the grass is green and it will begin to get mowed. And I invite you, if you need a quiet place to come and sit, bring your chair, use one of ours, and just be at one with nature here. Something else to notice when you come, in the last 2 weeks our bluebirds have returned. We have a pair that live in this nesting box right here to my right by the basketball goal. And so if you are a birder, we have a pretty cool pair that I've been fortunate to watch for about the last 4 to 5 years on and off. They have come and offered themselves to us. In this month of April, there is a lot going on, and it feels like my calendar is starting to explode with opportunities. We come out of winter and everybody thinks that all of our retreats and workshops and everything needs to happen in this month on top of Earth Day. And one of those is pretty important, and it's new to me this year. It's called Sexual Assault Awareness Month, SAAM, SAM. And our own Oasis, our own shelter here, is supporting and sponsoring it this month. And you're going to see in this email and on our Facebook page ways to engage in that. There's already been a few lectures associated with this month. And the importance that I'm really finding, this is a new area for me, is that the stories have to be told. As hard as it is for me to hear, and I'm assuming for you to hear, these stories of sexual assault, sexual violence, well, we need to hear them, because when we hear them, they begin to humanize all people. And our call during stewardship was humanity for all. And to truly see each person as human, we have to truly understand their heart. And in their own heart, as well as in mine, we seek love, we seek grace, we seek mercy. And at the heart of it all is bringing about the kingdom of God. The kingdom of heaven is here, which for me is seeing each person as human, understanding that their heart is divine and sacred. And too often we stigmatize one another. We stigmatize people because of our own fear, because we don't understand the situation, or because it's unknown to us. And I'm actually going to take my sweatshirt off right now, which may mean the sound goes weird, but I purposely have on my beloved sweatshirt, which is a part of the Opening and Affirming Coalition, which is a part of the United Church of Christ. And this coalition seeks to see each person regardless as human beloved children of God. And so what happens when I take my sweatshirt off is this. I'm wearing a t-shirt that Mary McKinney offered to us a couple of years ago when she told her story at the Watauga Community Compassion Initiative. And her story of growing up with multiple ACE factors, adverse childhood experiences, well, it's impacted her in her physical health and her emotional health. And as she seeks her resiliency, as she seeks to not just survive, but to literally thrive, what she knows and is continuing to teach me and hope us is that these stories matter. And as I took my sweatshirt off, it feels vulnerable. And in this cold air, I'm a little cool, and I'm like, oh, I gotta put my shirt back on. But I think sometimes when we strip off those layers, or when we are willing to hear other people strip their own layers off, and we get to hear those stories that are deep, those hearts that are exposed, it actually helps to embolden our hearts and help to heal us, to make our hearts even stronger. And so in this month, when we not only celebrate Earth Day and attempt to notice where it needs healing, we also look at sexual assaults and understand that it's not just a gender-specific thing. It is across the board. And any and all, hear this, any and all sexual activity that is not by consent, that is not given consent, that is sexual abuse and or sexual violence. Those words have a bit of an interchangeability about them, and kind of depends on what circle you're in, which word you're going to hear. Consent matters. And our stories of brokenness and our stories of understanding healing, they strengthen all of us, allowing each one of us to truly be known as beloved. And so on this week, as the sun is glorious and as the bluebirds offer my own heart delight, and as I come and find myself in this space where these rocks give me hope and rocking in those chairs nourish my soul, I invite you, as we emerge from winter and a pandemic, to know continually what makes your heart sing, such that we truly do bring about and live into the kingdom of heaven here among us now. See you next week.